let's have a look at music providers for your videos in 2024. This year was easy for me to find a winner, and if you saw my last year's review of these music providers, the results might surprise you. First of all, it's important for you to know that I don't have any collabs or partnerships with any of these music providers, and the day I do, I will stop making these comparisons and reviews immediately. First out is Epidemic Sound, and this was the first ever music provider that I was using. I remember back in 2019, they had a lot of marketing strategies, a lot of influencers, YouTubers, all of them using marketing and claiming that Epidemic Sound was the best one. Epidemic Sound has a lot of music, and back when I was making vlogs, Epidemic Sound was the perfect fit for me. They also have sound effects, and it's easy to make cool productions with them. In addition to this, they have newly added a feature where you can upload a video, and based on a specific frame of that video that you're choosing, they will find some music that will fit the mood of your video. In addition to this, they have a plugin in Adobe. So if you're an Adobe user, you can actually use a plugin and download music directly from the software, if I got it correctly. I'm a DaVinci user myself, so I haven't really been able to try this out. So all of these things are obviously good things about Epidemic Sound. But what is it that we don't like? So first of all, I do feel like the music is a bit too generic. It's just something that worked well for my vlogs, but for my professional projects, I'm struggling a bit to find the right fit. This could obviously be because I just didn't find the right music, but that was still my experience. And I guess that also leads me to the next point, that I was not really able to find the right music. And I think that has to do with the interface. It's not the easiest. And even though they added this new function of adding a video and creating some or getting your music from this frame, I still didn't feel like it worked out as good as I maybe hoped it would. It wasn't super bad, but there are some competitors that are having some better AI tools for you to use. So we'll get back to that later. And then if you're using Epidemic Sound as a professional, you want to use it for your clients, then you have the struggle of clearing your videos. And having to clear every video after a client has received their product is not necessarily the best thing. I found that it was a bit too stressful to have to always clear it after, and it was stressful not knowing if I was gonna be able to clear it in time, because I really didn't want my client to get emails or notifications saying that the music was, or the song that they used in the video was not cleared, because that would make me come off as less professional, and I really want to be professional in everything I do. There are also some rumors, and these are only rumors, that people are actually getting their videos claimed after they end their subscription with Epidemic Sound, which is obviously not good. This means that you have to keep your subscription with Epidemic Sound forever just to be able to have your videos up there. And if this is the case for client work, then I don't see how I would ever be able to trust Epidemic Sound. But then again, I don't know if this is the case. This is just what people told me. So all in all, I would say that it's still a good tool for vlogs, for creators who like their music. Maybe that's their preference, and also if you don't do client work. For me, I was doing mostly client work and like to make more of those production that other providers fit better with. It doesn't really work that well for me. You can pause the video here if you need to see more of the details of the pricing, but just have in mind that if you watch this a year or two from now, the pricing might be very different, because I'm pretty sure it's different than what it was when I made my last review. And then we have last year's winner, Artlist. And just like Epidemic Sound, they have a lot of music, a lot of different songs. And in my opinion, they do have more variation. So this is obviously just me saying this based on my experiences, and it could be that you've had totally different experiences with this. But I really appreciate that there are a lot of different songs, and also I find the library to be a tiny bit more professional, or better for my professional use. And just like Epidemic Sound, Artlist is also offering sound effects. Sound effects that are good, that I use all the time for all of my projects. So Artlist is definitely my go-to when it comes to the sound effects. I do find that Artlist doesn't have a lot of international language sound effects, so for my Norwegian clients, it doesn't really work with sound effects in English, and I do wish that they would expand on this, but that might come in later, hopefully. But in addition to sound effects, Artlist also has a big library of graphic elements and stock footage. This is if you go for the max plan, and I use this all the time. I did not use stock footage before, but now I do. And I know that this has nothing to do with the sound effects or the audio library, but I still want to emphasize on the package deal that you're getting with Artlist. But what are the bad things about Artlist? Well, there's a new thing that kind of started just after my last review, and that is that you now also have to clear your videos even with Artlist. And I did reach out to them asking them about this, and they said it's not something you have to do, but it's something that they recommend you doing just to be more safe and for your client to be more safe. But I am not very happy about this, because what I loved about Artlist was that it was so easy and seamless for my client and for myself, and I never had to worry. Now I feel like I have to add my clients to my channels, especially those that I know that are more afraid of or more obsessed with the rights of music, which obviously most company will be. So that is something that was one of the reasons why I was such a big fan of Artlist last year, and now they kind of took that away. Just like with Epidemic Sound, I do find it a bit hard to find music, and I spend way too much time trying to find the music that I want. And when I find it, I do feel like it's more out of luck than it is about me using a technique or strategy that Artlist has made for me. So that is something that I really miss. And Epidemic Sound has this AI tool with the frame and video that I was talking about, and Artlist does not. So in terms of that, Artlist is actually a little bit behind, and I'm really hoping that they will develop something eventually that will make it easier to get the music that you want. And just like last time, I don't feel like Artlist is updating their library often enough. It says new on the music or this behind the song, and when it says new for 2 months, that's way too much for someone who's using their library every day. Then it doesn't feel new anymore. And then again, pause the video or hit the link below if you want to see more about Artlist's prices. The prices might include the max subscription, which will give you access to stock footage, graphic elements, and sound effects. Last year's loser is this year's winner, and let me tell you why. After shitting on Musicbed last year, they reached out to me and asked me to help them find a solution to their problem. Who would have thought that a small channel like mine would actually have someone like Musicbed change their licensing agreement? It's important for me to emphasize that I don't have any partnership or collab with Musicbed whatsoever. They did reach out to me, have me try out some of their new tools before they launched them, just for me to give them my feedback, and they gave me a new plan after last year's disaster. But this is where Musicbed really stands out in my opinion. Reaching out, asking how they can get better, and really taking my feedback seriously. They actually made a change on the basis of my video and my feedback. That is pretty cool and great marketing, because now I am talking about Musicbed in this way instead of talking shit about them like last year. But let's get into the actual product of Musicbed. I have never complained about the music library of Musicbed. I do feel like they are the best provider for us in terms of the music. It's more professional, more variety. I just really find that it's the best provider for my videos. And this has nothing to do with the licensing, the clearing of videos or anything. It's just the music itself. For more professional productions, I always prefer Musicbed. I don't think that my self-documentary about my marathon last year would have been nearly as good if I didn't have Musicbed.
I don't know if I will ever feel good about creating.
But although the music is good, that is not what makes me think that they're really standing out. What really makes them stand out is their new AI tool, which is amazing. I would say that now it takes me 5% of the time that I used to find music for my videos. I now just go into Musicbed and I type in the name of a song that I really like. It could be my favorite artist like Ed Sheeran. I can also copy a link from Spotify and just paste that into the same search field, and I will get a lot of songs that are very similar to this. And although I tried this function before on other platforms, I have to say that this is by far the best one I've ever tried. It is so good. I really feel like there are several songs that are almost just like the song that I typed in. So for me, this is a game changer. I'm not getting the same song, but I'm getting the same vibe, the same kind of music. And can you imagine spending much less time looking for music for your videos? It seems like all providers now have some kind of clearing system, which I guess makes sense. But Musicbed definitely has the best kind of clearing system. Now you only copy this little number code thing and then you type it into the description of, say, YouTube, and you are cleared. I really think that this is much easier than having to take the link of whatever is uploaded after and paste into the softwares like you have to do in Artlist and Epidemic Sound. So, good on you, Musicbed. Another thing that I like about the interface and the functionality of Musicbed is that I can go into a project that I made last year and I can see all the songs I included in that. That makes it much easier for me to find the songs that I remember that I used. So sometimes I might be like, oh, I really like the song that I used for that video 2 years ago. But what song was that? And then I can find this song in that project and I'm good to go. Very easy, faster workflow. Before we talk about the pricing of Musicbed, we need to approach the elephant in the room, which was the things that I was shitting on last year. The problem that I had was that I had the creator plan and I was not able to make spec ads, reels, or anything that could potentially get me work if someone saw my work or my portfolio. This is now changed. If you have the creator plan, you will be able to use this on YouTube for everything that you do, as long as it's for you personally. Spec ad, good to go. Reel, good to go. If you're making anything on your personal platforms, you're good to go. As long as you're not doing any company commercial work, you are good. So now the creator plan is what it actually says it is. It is what the word creator plan kind of means. And I really, really appreciate that Musicbed listened to us and changed the licensing agreement. Thank you. So when I'm saying all these nice things about Musicbed, how come I don't use it for my client work? Well, it's about the price. The price is more expensive with Musicbed. And although I'm now on a plan where I can have up to 50 employees in the company that I'm delivering to, I have clients that are mostly more than 50 people. So this means that for me to be able to use it for my clients, it will be very expensive. But now that I've started doing more expensive projects that are bigger budgets, I might actually choose to go for Musicbed for everything that I do. The only thing is that Musicbed doesn't have sound effects, so I will still need to use Artlist for some of those things. Musicbed is truly a music platform, just like it says, Musicbed, nothing else. So if you're a YouTuber, I don't really see why you wouldn't go with Musicbed. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive, but you're still saving time, better music, better tools to find that music, and you will have everything in one place. But if you're a freelancer working with smaller budgets, maybe you should go with Artlist, especially if you don't mind clearing the videos after. I can't tell you what to choose, but I think I made it pretty clear what is my preferred music provider in 2024. And just like everyone who's subscribing to these services, I do have a referral link or a code. And if you want Musicbed or Artlist, you can hit the links down below. And I really hope that you'll use them and support me and my channel. Let me know in the comments below which one you're going for. See ya.